So,
Okay.
Ashton, you have such a powerful story. But let's begin with, for our readers, can you tell them a little bit about yourself?
Yes, I'm a four-time gold medalist and author, public speaker. My grandmother, of course, raised me and, really took a family effort in that perspective. And the YMCA was the place that I learned how to swim. So not the Special Olympics, I actually learned from the Y. And so, in my disability, I'm visually impaired. And I just continue to strive with all of that. So, yeah, that's a little bit about who I am and what I've accomplished so far.
That's amazing. And I know that having a disability has not stopped you from your passion for swimming. In fact, you've won 4 gold medals in your career. So what has been your driving force to keep going?
I lost my mother and people in my life, my sister. So just the fact that they're no longer here anymore. Mm-hmm. And so just trying to keep going and just telling people that you can overcome a disability or really anything, really. So it doesn't even have to be a disability, just whatever's holding you back in your life, fill in the blank. You can overcome it. So and that's what I continue to do.
That's amazing. And I know a lot of people, they think that having a disability, people are always going to tell you that you can't do something. So how did it feel, like winning the gold medal and proving them wrong, that you can actually do it?
Yeah, that felt good at that level. It's hard at these camps and stuff. I was just talking to Trinity Metro. Yeah, it's hard and what you got to go through. So winning that gold medal it's important because it's a selection. Yes, it's the Special Olympics, but you still have to be selected out of thousands of people in different states and stuff. So yeah.
Mm-hmm. And training as an athlete, it takes a lot of dedication and discipline. So how did you stay motivated in your journey?
I was probably swimming, or just doing different things. I may, with that just being motivated, just the training. I mean, you may be working 8 hours a day, 4 hours to try to do land stuff and be in that kind of condition. Real Olympic athletes, they work out 8-9 hours a day. Mm-hmm. And I took it seriously and put in that kind of effort, though didn't benefit from none of it. Mm-hmm. I can never get back my time, but what continues to keep me motivated is the fact that there's a driving force, and I know there's something bigger than myself, and I'm not just doing this for me. I'm doing this for a lot of people, black people, minorities who feel like they can't swim and do things. So there's reasons I'm doing this as well.
I know your story is going to impact a lot of people. So you as what is your goal now as a community-motivated speaker?
Now that I'm allowed to be a speaker, you're not allowed to really do that in the Special Olympics or do anything to monetize your image in any way, shape, or form using their logos. Now that I'm out of that, I hope to monetize my image and get paid. I hope to not be under such heavy restrictions. I hope to be able to find companies that will include me, not exclude me, and companies that will pay me my worth. Do I have to be rich? No, but I want to get paid something for what I've done.
Absolutely.
Does that make sense?
It makes perfect sense to me.
And that I don't want to be exploited. That is my goal. I want to be able to be with companies that can stand up for me and put a stop to this once and for all with what I'm going through. That is my goal, is to break the chains of the Special Olympics hold on my life. That is my goal. So I can move on with my life and do something different and move on.
Absolutely.
Especially if they're never going to reinstate me or allow me back in their program.
Mm-hmm. So my question for you is, if you could give advice to another person that's in your shoes, what would you tell them?
If I could, I know for me personally, I do regret doing the Special Olympics. I do, right? But the advice is that have somebody in your life that can stand up for you. Have somebody that's going to fight for what you want and need in your life, whether physically or financially. because never let yourself be taken advantage of, you or your talents. That's my advice to people right now in this day and age. We're in an age of monetization and Supreme Court laws. Take advantage of the laws and do not let people or organizations or businesses use you for fame, fortune, or glory, or whatever you want to call it. But the biggest advice is find something bigger than yourself. Treat people how you'd like to be treated, and things will work out. And I did that in the Special Olympics. I treated people how they'd like to be treated, and the same wasn't delivered to me. If the same is not delivered to you, then continue to speak up. That's the advice I have to people, and speak out against things that you feel are wrong, because no program has the right to tell you can't.
Exactly. Exactly. No one has the right to tell you that you can't do something in general. Like, living your dreams, doing what you know that
I'm not allowed to. With the Special Olympics, girl, it's so bad. The Special Olympics don't even want me to live a dream. That's why I want a management company. I need a booking agent. I need somebody that can stand up and really send them the proper documents, because me just talking on the internet, they don't care about that.
Yeah, so. I hear that too. I would like to ask you, like, I know you've had a really long journey in everything that you're going through, but is there anyone you would like to thank for your journey? Or
oh man, absolutely. I have mentors that I would like to thank. They know who they are. Common Ground Ministries was a thing in my life. Miss Ora Jackson was a teacher of mine. The YWCA and other places that were in my life, they know who they are, and I thank them for that. And my entire family, my family, though some people may be distant, I know they love me, and when I make it and strive, they know that I'll be ready and prepared to see them and other people again, including my mother and those who are gone. I thank those people in my life as well. Those who I have not mentioned, I ain't forgotten about you either. So I'm grateful for all people in my life that are helping me try to get out of this situation to the best of their ability. Though they lack the resources, they're not lack for effort for at least trying.
Yeah, I hear that. Well, thank you. Thank everybody that's helped you on your journey, because it takes a village to
Absolutely. You can't do this by yourself. I tried, man. I tried during the pandemic. I worked about 18 hours a day and had nothing but time, but I just can't do that anymore.
Understandable. So, and is there organizations, is there anybody in particular that you would like to reach out to if given the opportunity?
The YMCA, the Boys and Girls Club, Michael Phelps, people who, sponsorship companies, booking and management agencies, those types of things, so I can get paid. I mean, I'm 40 years old. Mm-hmm. I'm not a child. I need to be making money, not volunteering. I mean, nothing's wrong with that, but I want to start getting paid too.
That's perfectly understandable. I mean, because, this is kind of like not one of the questions on the list, but I just want to kind of like pick your thoughts. So do you feel like athletes in the industry, do you feel like they get as much recognition as they should?
Nope, and a lot of them don't get as much money as they should, and that's even at the highest level of sports. There are many athletes that should get. Michael Jordan should have got more money than what he did. Mm-hmm. Let's be real. Like, look at what he brought. And, so it's just people. So it's just, and even like people with disabilities, we get no recognition. Mm-hmm. The Special Olympics, I came home, nobody knew who I was. I thought I would come home to happiness. Instead, I came home to a regular life.
And I know you speak very strongly about that too. So you're looking for people to connect with where you can be advocate for sports, professional sports.
Sports safety, sports safety, and and commission, meaning that people should be able to make money off their image. And I want to work with commissions and boards to see laws passed in that.
Absolutely.
That's where I want to be able to use my voice to say not only college athletes, but people with disabilities should get paid as well.
I agree. And for all those people out there that are going to hear your interview, how can they get a hold of you?
They can get a hold of me under Golden Ashton. Golden Ashton on social media, _US on Instagram. And I have a website, Mad Pop Records. You'll see my name on that website. I think that's on there. I think I sent that to you as well.
Mm-hmm.
The Mad Pop Records website is down here. It is going to be www.madpoprecords.com/Ashton Smith.
Mm-hmm.
And they can reach me on that website. I'm really excited. I also have shoes on that website people can buy at aliveshoes.com. And then I have a book called Swimming Upstream to Realize the Dream. That book is available on Amazon and Walmart. People can buy that book and understand more about my story. But yeah, the story and gist of that book just talks about how the Special Olympics, yes, there's some good out of it. It's not all bashing the Special Olympics, but a lot of it is. I don't get paid money, and that's just the truth. I don't benefit from that. My life has not benefited, nor has me or my family, and that's just what that book talks about, and I'm going to stick with that truth because that's the truth.
Mm-hmm.
And my experiences and what I've went through even in the 90s when I was a child. Special Olympics don't want me talking about it, but I'm going to talk about it because that's what I went through.
Mm-hmm.
I went through various forms of abuse, and and I did. I had an athlete who threatened harm to my life. That's how all this got started in the first place.
Right.
I'm never going to deal with that, guys, ever. So the biggest advice I can have to people is stand up for yourself, even in situations like that.
Mm-hmm.
Seriously, allow for that and allow for people to call you names. No, that should never be allowed.
Never.
And Special Olympics allowed it because they did nothing about it, right?
Mm-hmm.
Just because you verbally don't do nothing, it's called applied action. That means they sat back and did nothing.
Mm-hmm.
And that constant being attacked, that's going to come to a stop. And so for people who want to reach out to me and learn more about my story and struggles and what I went through, there are various podcasts. You can also Google Ashton Smith Special Olympics today to find out more about my story on Google. Mm-hmm. And other social media. TikTok, you can also find me under Golden Ashton on TikTok as well, and other social media. So I'm really, really excited. But when you Google that Ashton Smith Special Olympics, you'll find articles, news articles, and things like that about my story because I've been in many. And and so I'm just really excited about it. Now it's time for me to start monetizing and benefiting off of what I do. And that is my biggest goal in life. That's not about being greedy. At my age, I deserve to get paid at the age of 40 years old.
You deserve that recognition. Absolutely. I agree with that.
Exactly.
Mm-hmm. And I appreciate you being one of those athletes that's out there to protect other athletes from going through what you went through. So it takes a lot to stand up for yourself, especially in an industry where money is always a motive for a lot of people and a lot of businesses. So, I applaud you. I believe you're a warrior in my eyes, just standing up to your Goliath in your life. Like that's essential. Like, you have to do that. You have to make that stand.
I don't have a choice. I mean, I'm living on welfare. What choice do I have?
Mm-hmm.
But my story is powerful, and it's about getting with the right connections. Like you said earlier, I got to get away from people that are just trying to nickel and dime me and not help me.
Exactly. It's time we get into a community that actually helps people. Like, I believe there's a lot of bad people out there, but there are a lot of good people too that are actually willing to help people out there and, doing it just because, God told them to. So, yes, I am 100% connected with people in the community who have a lot of nonprofits and organizations, a lot of authors, a lot of people that have a lot more knowledge than I do in that industry. But nevertheless, our village can help other people prosper and can help people get connected.
So I'm not on welfare, and it's like, who wants to be on welfare for the rest of their lives? Nobody.
Nobody does. No, not at all.
And it's like Special Olympics has created a welfare state because nobody's allowed to make money. What y'all want them to do, work at Kroger's or some meager job?
Mm-hmm.
Yeah, you're not allowed to be a public speaker in the Special Olympics.
That's ridiculous. That's ridiculous.
You're not allowed to do jobs that make 6 figures or more than the CEO. Using their image. I'm like, but y'all got my face all on TV, but I ain't making nothing.
Yeah, that's not.
Y'all got my story on NBC5 and every news station, but I ain't prospering.
Yeah.
Because at the end of the day, Special Olympics knows what they're doing.
Mm-hmm.
And on purpose, they want to essentially silence me.
Mm-hmm.
And I'm not going to be quiet.
Right.
You know, not as long as I'm sitting here not settled,
Mm-hmm.
I'm going to talk about it.
You've been speaking about it for quite some time, but I think
I've been speaking about it for years and no one's listening. I done been on over 200 podcasts.
Mm-hmm. Mm-hmm.
And I don't know why it is that my story hadn't got traction.
Yeah. I don't know either. I really feel like people need to hear this. So,
And do you know why it hadn't got traction? The reason it ain't got traction is because those podcasts, I went back and looked at all of them. There's nobody watching them. They're like no-name podcasts.
they're like low-level podcasts. They don't really have a lot of followers.
No. And that's what those are. And I'm like, well, what was the point of me doing that? This is my TikTok right
Mm-hmm.
there.
Mm-hmm.
So you can see my shoes and my book, but I haven't even been able to sell one pair of my shoes because nobody can afford to buy them.
Yeah. I understand. Well, let's get them all. Let's get you out there. Let's get your story told. Let's make it happen.
Yeah, because I'm like, dang, I done everything I could having a book and shoes, and I done all this, and I'm poor, and I'm still not making it.
Mm-hmm.
This goes to show you that you can't do this stuff by yourself.
No, you can't.
You have to have a team of people. Like, look at that's me right there,
Mm-hmm.
holding the medal I won.
Yep, I see it.
And I was in Swim magazine, and none of this stuff got me paid. I was even in this magazine, a whole typed feature done in that magazine right there that I was in,
Mm-hmm.
and never got paid. Some of this stuff I've had to pay to be in.
But you can't do this by yourself, Ashton. I think your story needs to be heard, and we're gonna make it happen.
Yeah, and I'm glad that I talked to you. You know, because didn't you have a post where you were talking about people that could be in your magazine? I think one of my friends tagged me in that post.
Furman Jackson?
I want to tell him thank you for tagging me. I didn't find you. He found you and said that he had told me that he thought, essentially, I guess he was trying to find people that he thinks could help me get the Special Olympics once and for all. Because it's not right. I shouldn't be sitting here being exploited for money.
No, you shouldn't. You should definitely.
And I'm sitting here working 18-hour days and I'm poor.
Yeah, it ain't right. It just ain't right at all.
No. And somebody's like, you're not working hard enough. Yeah, I am.
Mm-hmm.
I shouldn't be sitting here with nothing.
Yes. I agree. Well,
that should never be the case. You know what I mean? I should be here getting endorsements and sponsorships.
I agree.
Not, you got to be at a grocery store for the rest of your life.
No. I'm thankful for you being able to tell your story, for getting awareness out there, because I believe a lot of people are not aware about the bigger picture about what's really happening in the sports industry.
They're not aware in the Special Olympics that none of the money goes to benefit us in three ways: a fundraising kit, because we have to fundraise money through a fundraising kit.
Right.
Mm-hmm. Yeah, it's crazy, and we don't benefit from that.
Yeah, the foundation does.
Right. Yeah, not us. Yeah. Thank you.
Yeah, I understand that.
Yeah, and they should have a stop put to the Special Olympics. It's horrible. Just know that they raise their money in three ways. They get their money from the federal government, or grandfathered in. Then they get their money from private or public donors. And then the third way is us. We have to raise money through a fundraising kit and all that. So they raise money in three ways, and nobody benefits from that.
Except for them.
Nobody benefits from that. And the only people that get paid are the people who are staff and on payroll. They get their food paid for, hotels, but not us athletes. Made to pay for food in hotels when I was an athlete in their program and was left $5,000 bankrupt.
And I just want to thank you again for being on my show.